Recording? Yes, Sirski. Me. Hello, my fellow humans. Welcome to a mini series I'll be doing on this channel where I give unfiltered reviews on books or subjects that I found helpful or interesting. I feel that the general knowledge given to us in schools, universities, don't properly prepare us to be the best human beings that we can be. It is through the pursuit of knowledge that we can make that happen. Today, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on this book right here. It is called Becoming Supernatural by a guy by the name of Dr. Joe Dispenza. Okay, he's wrote a few books. He has some videos on like YouTube and stuff like that where he talks about the mind, the body, our relationships with things like consciousness and thoughts and emotions, stuff like that. So I've read this book twice. Read this book 2 times. Thick ass book. We got a lot to cover. About 300 pages. Yeah, we're gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna try my best to cut out the fluff. There's a lot of fluff in this book. There's a lot of y'all gonna see. So this book is going to be an introduction into things that are more nuanced to understand and describe. Things like thoughts, consciousness, emotions. All of these things have been researched and talked about forever by those who were capable of having enough awareness to acknowledge them. Most people don't. Most people don't know about their thoughts, their mind, their consciousness, their emotions. They don't understand those concepts because they were never taught them. So I'm gonna do my best to unwoo-wah this book. It's a lot like new agey books and terms and stuff like that. They get a bad rap because they're so they're just gross, bro. They just use gross terms and gross in that cringe, get the fuck, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna strip away all the bull and, you know what I'm saying, tell you how you can go about reading this book. He starts off by acknowledging that this is an uncommon way to view the world, to view life. These are uncommon beliefs to have, and they are. The vast majority of people not really giving a fuck about this, not really working on their mental health, not really understanding what's going on within their inner world. Can't really blame them. That's just how the shit is. All right, chapter 1, opening the door to the supernatural. Okay, this chapter is going to talk about stress. Stress is an extremely important emotion to understand within yourself. When you are stressed, you need to understand how you express stress. You may go quiet, go mute, just internalize it all. You may scream, you may let it out however you know what I'm saying. There's different avenues which stress can be expressed. Sometimes it's in pure silence. You never know what a person's mind is going on in their head. You know, even if they're quiet, they could be stressed out too. It goes on to explain it scientifically. Stress at the thought level looks like whatever you just picture as stress in your head. That's a great image. I don't even need to paint a picture. You have some sort of idea of what a stressful mind state is for you. On the scientific side, stress is chemicals. It is chemical production. If you are faced, let's use an extreme example, with a tiger, a dog, a wolf, a bear, your body drops thinking about shit and, oh shit, man, I'm finna, whatever your innate reaction is. This happens because of the systems within the body. There are systems that will push all of the other thoughts away and get you into a certain mode. This mode exists for our survival, our protection of ourselves. It is our base borderline. This is why you can't necessarily control your impulses and reactions on sight. Whatever you are is what will come forth, good or bad. If you've trained yourself, then you may automatically know what to do. But if you never trained yourself, what you are will show. That's just facts. Here's another example of how us being human beings, we have access to, it seems like we're like smarter than the other animals on this planet, right? It seems like we're special because we can think better, or we think we can think better, it's like we're doing something, like we're different, we're obviously different than the other animals on this planet, like insects and all this shit, like we ain't really, you know what I'm saying, fuck them. We are more special, we're more something. We have consciousness. As far as we know, we're the only things on this planet with it. But with that great power, we have the tendency to place our consciousness in the past, reliving some sort of drama that we've, choose to cling on to, or we are stuck in anticipation and waiting for what it is that we desire to be here. And so by doing so, you miss your present moment. So one hand, we're smarter, we have big brains. On the other hand, we can use it to trick ourselves, to live in illusion, essentially. It's going to give several examples of people that have overcome. It's just going to give you stories to give you an example of how it looks in other people's lives of them overcoming. This is just some stories for you. And this is stuff like the dark night of the soul. That shit just irks me. It just sounds too gay. I'm not gonna listen to no shit like that. A lot of people think like, oh, ego death, you experience like some type of traumatic blah, 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 blah. Bruh, I'm not gonna lie, it's more of a, if you studied anything Jungian or anything about like psychology, the dark night of the soul would be more like, it would be more like coming to the realization that everything that you believed has been false. And so you experience a dark night. It's just like, I don't like that gay ass terminology. So I would say like coming to face like imagine everything. I mean, you can't really imagine it unless you've been through it and you've gone through it. Like everything that you've known is a lie. Like imagine like you grew up with your parents and then you find out like, oh, I'm adopted. These aren't even my real parents. Like something like a dramatic shift in your consciousness being oriented a whole different way. Like I'm not even thinking how I used to. My world has been flipped upside down, but I don't like them gay ass terms they be using. More and more examples that I'm not really gonna go over. If you want to read it yourself. He speaks about incarnations. Okay, I'm not really a fan of this one. The theory goes that consciousness is ever present and always will be. And I'm not knocking your beliefs. If you believe that, then hey, you believe that. I'll give you like consciousness being something that is ever present and does not live or die in the way that we think like a body does. But as far as it transferring from body to body, I'm not really too sure about that one. Like I said, you're gonna have to pick and choose. There is useful information in this book, but I kind of like wave over the incarnations and stuff like that. As soon as it starts talking and stuff like that, I can't really understand that type of stuff, so I skip it completely. Yeah, chapter 1 is just a bunch of examples. Chapter 2, the present moment. Okay, the book, The Power of Now, is a good prerequisite for this book because it already talks about what the now is. What do you mean the now? What do you mean past, present, and future don't exist? What do you mean? Go read that book first in order to understand this. You can skip this chapter completely or just glaze over it if you understand what the present moment is. I already did a whole breakdown of The Power of Now, so go read that book in order to understand what being present is. I'm not gonna have time to teach you in the video, nor can I ever teach you. This is something you gotta experience. He has a saying that he says neurons that fire together, wire together. That's an important concept I think that he got right. It says the more you repeat a thought choice, behavior, experience, or emotion, the more those neurons fire and wire together, and the more they will sustain a long-term relationship. 100% true. This is akin to forming a habit of any kind. The way that they present themselves externally also happen to have the same type of process internally. You can build mental habits as well. The only place that the past actually exists is in your brain. We already spoke about this in The Power of Now. Go read that book. There is no room for the unknown in a predictable life. You never know what your world will look like in the next second. It's ever changing. It's before your eyes, and there's no way to consolidate it into something that's going to be predictable every single time. That's just not how life works. I dare you to argue that. Think of emotion as energy in motion. Great definition, great way to put it. Emotion is the motion of your energy, how you are feeling, how you are moving. It truly does express itself in that way. Energy moving. Great way he put it. Okay, he has a diagram. I'll put it up right here. It's not like that, but it's a good way to think about it. I would say it's more important to recognize what the emotion looks like and how you feel it. Not like looking at it, but like how does it look like within you? And just by having recognition of the emotion within yourself, then you're able to change it. But I would say it's more important to just have a definite picture of what the emotions look like in the first place. How do they look like in you? How do you experience lust? How do you experience pain? How do you experience victimization? Do you know what those terms mean? And do you know how you express them? That would be a prerequisite. Learning all of the emotions first. I would do that. Understanding the present moment is largely attention-based. It's focus-based. It is, where am I deciding to allocate my attention to? Is it in the future? Is it in anticipation? We know that that is in vain. That path, the entire, it doesn't do anything but sap us of our life. Literally, quite literally. You're missing your now if you're constantly worried about the future. Are we constantly thinking about the past? So all of this has to deal with where we are placing our attention, our focus, what we're choosing to pay attention to. Gaining control of your attention is the first step. Understanding what's going on in your head, being able to sense your inner world to some degree is the first step. Nothing else, no other change is possible unless you do that. Lots and lots of examples in this book. I feel that it's gonna speak in terms that make you feel good, but I don't give a damn about none of that. Your body will always believe its internal chemistry more than its external conditions. 100% fact. You can take a person who's experienced trauma and take away all their problems and give them a bunch of material things and all of these things. They're still gonna have psychological problems. They're not just gonna be swept away just because everything around them changes. The body, the mind is first. When stress levels go up, this lowers levels of IgA, thereby compromising and downregulating the immune system's expression of the gene that makes this protein. I don't know what that means. He's going to give you a bunch of numbers that serve as scientific proof, but I'll speak on the connection between stress levels and your immune system. 100% they are correlated with one another. More stressed out person will see more bodily sickness, more bodily illness. Even if you're not in the bed sick, you may experience things like, I don't know, bad blood clots, diabetes, or illnesses and ailments show up as a direct response to our internal worlds. Our internal body is producing these states quite literally. I'm not making this shit up. You're producing the chemicals that make these things. The regulation of your body is dependent on purity of mind. Like, I'm not trying to like beat around the bush with it. That's 100% true. It's fact. Where attention goes, energy flows. It's a saying that he has. I like it. The moment we react to any condition in our outer world that tends to be threatening, whether the threat is real or imagined, pay attention to that part. Our body releases stress hormones in order to mobilize enormous amounts of energy in response to that threat. When this occurs, the body moves out of balance. 100% true. I believe that the highest level that you can achieve for training the stress response is that when you are faced with threats, your stress responders activate and fire and function as they're intended to do. And immediately once the threat is no more or resolved, your body will regulate back to its normal mode immediately. Well, it's not a gradual, but it's quick. It's a minute or two. It's I believe that's the highest level. I don't think there's any point where the stress signals just fail to fire or never activate or anything like that. Your stress is a part of your body. These chemicals mobilizing you into actions are needed when you are going to fight off a tiger. That's what you want. You want these adrenaline heads, you know what I'm saying? That's the chemical production to produce the power that you need to overcome the threat in this instant. But what we do is, even when the threat's not there, we're still in that fucking state. We're like, even if we're we still have the tension within us still. But the highest level would be when the threat is not here anymore. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. It's like animals do. Like, when an animal is done, like say they get done scrapping and they broken up, like they back. You feel me? They're not harboring the memory of what had happened or what will happen as a result of a situation that they experienced in their past. It's over with, it's done. May have a memory of it and may know how to learn from it, but the state of arousal, excitement is gone once the threat is literally gone. I would say this can only be achieved in the field, in direct experience. There's no learning this, there's no reading about it. There is only experience of it, and your body will be proof of that based on its own reactions. Yeah, he's gonna go on to talk a lot more about just present moment. He's gonna give you a ton of examples, ton of things to read. I would say I'm not gonna take up too much more time talking about the present moment, just because we did a whole book on the present moment, which is The Power of Now. Go read that, read this chapter, and in order to get a true understanding of this, you have to do it yourself. Chapter 3, tuning into new potentials in the quantum. You see how this shit sound? Like, okay, bro, it's finna start getting woo-wah-y, you know? Like, quantum, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Quantum, like, nobody knows what that shit means. The quantum, or unified field, is an invisible field of energy and information. Or you could say a field of intelligence or consciousness that exists beyond space and time. Nothing physical or material exists there. Okay, bro, instead of saying quantum and all this extra shit, we're gonna say imagination. Let's just use that one. Everyone's familiar with that one. Imaginative world. That is a better suitable word for this. The only way you can experience this realm is with your awareness, not your senses. And since consciousness is awareness, and awareness is paying attention and noticing, once you are beyond the world of the senses, when you are paying attention to the energy of the quantum field, your consciousness is connecting to greater levels of frequency and information. Okay, he just said a great thing in there. He said, the only way you can experience this realm is with your awareness, 100%. You can't touch this world. You can't taste, smell, kick. You can't do nothing to this world other than observe it with the mind. That is the only place that you can ever experience that world. What he's basically saying is you are experiencing your world right now as is. And in order to change it, you have to think about something else. That's something else that you're trying to grab onto or change your world into. That's the quantum world. That's the imaginative world, because quite literally it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist yet. It's you tugging on infinity. We have the potential to think of anything in the mind. The mind space, the imaginative world is infinite as far as we know. It's as big as we can imagine. You know what I'm saying? That's the quantum world and stuff like that. But the only way to get there is to alleviate yourself from the body's the consciousness's association with the body and the material world. You must build up your awareness to go beyond the body into the realm of thought and imagination. It's going to talk about brain waves and stuff like that. I feel like that deserves its own portion or segment or video because that stuff is deep. I'm going to skip it. If you want me to go over it, just comment below. Yeah, it's going to try and teach you how to get to that imaginative world. He's going to give you a bunch of methods. I hope you don't get confused, but the simplest way that I can put it is, I would say, sit down on the ground and take away your senses one by one. Start with your eyes, close them. And you'll notice, like, holy shit, like, I'm hearing a lot more in depth than I would usually hear or usually would pay attention to. So stop hearing. Don't pay attention to your ears. Then you will feel, oh, my body is, oh shit, my shoulders, whoopsies, my back, fuck. You might feel your body. You might feel its aches and its pains that were previously unnoticed. Or you might feel good. You might feel fantastic. You might feel loose, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you want to drop all that shit. Then you gotta say, man, my clothes smell good as fuck. Or damn, I'm stinky tonight. Or whatever the fuck, whatever. Take away your smell. I need to brush my teeth for it. I'm glad I flossed, or whatever the fuck. Take away your taste. What you find you are left with is a ability to perceive, consciousness, an awareness. From that point, you will find nothing else exists there other than thought. Thought never leaves. Thought is always in constant motion. There's always a light on inside of you to some degree. Even if you're not seeing anything, you are identifying with someone. This is your sense of yourself. So getting there and being able to touch it is the prerequisite to any additional work that you want to kind of do in your life. Gotta be able to grab yourself, to see yourself without the eyes, to feel yourself without the body. No one can teach you this. You will never learn this in a book. You will never learn this in a class. You will never learn this in a school. You must do this by yourself. Go sit the fuck down, meditate, close your eyes, do what I just said. He talks again about the relationship between the feeling and the emotion that you are expressing and the world that you are creating. The world that you are creating does require your emotion in the sense that you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be the one to get excited about it. You got to be the one to change it for yourself, or you're going to experience what you continue to experience. But you have choice. You have choice to choose what it is that you want to experience. And you do that by self-regulating your thoughts, your emotions, and directing them into wherever it is that you want to go. I would say that upon seeing yourself for the first time, you won't recognize it immediately. You may not understand what it is that you are experiencing if you've never experienced it before. I would say lean into it, because the assumption of fear to become afraid of what's within you, you snap yourself back into this body, back into the world. They like to say the term like your higher self or your you know what I'm saying? I don't like those words. I like direct experience. All these terms and labels ain't doing shit but trying to point towards the same thing. That thing, whatever that thing is, whatever word you want to call it, that's what you're trying to remember. That's what you're trying to remember, I would say. That's the correct way to put it. Until you are able to achieve this, you're just a set of programs walking around. He ends all of his chapters with some sort of meditation. I've skipped those entirely. I find it just far more effective to just go sit with yourself, go explore yourself without any type of interference. You can follow step-by-step instructions from other people. You can do guided things or whatever it is that you want to do. You got free will. I find go in there and do it yourself because no one else can teach you it.